Hello everyone, it's Kay here. Thank you very much for joining me in my part 2 of my Summer Sonata, which is a collection from Uniquely Creative. And last time in the first video we just made a cover, and I did change the inside because I wasn't really happy, and I did what I did on the inside here instead. I just used a paper from a pack that I got from let me think, Spotlight, and same for the sides, but here and here is papers from the collection, Christmas, and this one is from the collection as well. And I used some washi tape that I had in my stash just for the joins, and I'll probably cover them over with lace so it doesn't be so so it's a bit more what's the word I'm looking for, softed, muted. Yes, right, words out can be good. So today we're going to be putting some lace on this, and doing some of the signatures together. So we'll I've decided to quickly use this lace, which comes from this, and I've just cut the this bit at the back off, so it becomes not gathered and becomes straight, which I prefer personally. Got bits and pieces everywhere here. So wasn't sure which way around to do the lace, whether I should do it this way on the edge there, or have it the other way, is hanging over the edge. So I thought that if it was hanging over the edge, what happens then? It just looks a bit unfinished, that side. And then I have to do something else as well, then it would look a bit odd. So I've decided just to do it the other way around. I'm just going to use some 450 glue. Just to stick it down with. People use Fabri-Tac and fabric glue and all sorts of things, but I find this works just as fine for my purposes. Sometimes with the washi tape though, I have to use my red tape, this stuff, which is really sticky. I don't use it very often. I only use it when something's just not sticking down. After several attempts of sticking down, this one for instance, I reckon I might have to use it here because of the washi tape, and the glue is just, this glue is just not sticking. I've got that side down. Just maybe a bit more on that side bit perhaps. So this morning we had a really lovely visit from our eldest daughter and granddaughter. They came for a little while because my eldest daughter's husband's been in Melbourne for the week, and she just thought she'd come and say hello and something to do because I've been on her own. But she said it's been really easy because granddaughter's been at school now. She's at school this year for the first time, and she did say this morning she felt really a bit yucky, and she said to her daughter, I feel a bit funny, I just need to lie down for a bit. And the 5-year-old was so lovely and got her own breakfast. My daughter did say that she did spill a bit of milk, but half the milk she said was the word she used. So, a 5-year-old to get her own breakfast, you know, she just decided to get her own breakfast. She knows where things are, and she loves to cook and make things, so that's good on her, I reckon. So we're going to do that on that side. I think that would look really pretty there, and whether I'll use the same lace on the other side, I've yet to decide. Whether I'll use this this pink lace as well that I thought would work well. So just using I wanted to use the thin lace on this one because I didn't want to hide this young lady, girl. A bit hard to tell how old she is actually because she's probably older than I think. So they just stayed for a little while and then went home because she was off to see a friend of hers who's hasn't seen for a while, and this afternoon I've been picking up her husband from the airport later on today. But the problem is, she said I hope he doesn't come home with COVID because his dad has got COVID, unfortunately. Update on my update on my shoulder is that I'm going to have keyhole surgery, and I've got apparently this really large calcification. It's between the arm bone and the shoulder bone, so the bones are like this, and it's in between the two bones there, and it's quite a large piece of calcification. The specialist said it's not common for it. It's very, don't normally see them that big. So he was telling me that he will scrape it, put a camera through, and be able to remove 80% of it, and the body will just manage the rest of the 20%, which I thought was pretty good. He just said that for a month it'll improve, and then it'll hit a plateau, and then it'll be 6 months before it's sort of like where you think it should be. So hopefully it'll work and help with the pain. I have to see where the end of this is. This there is the end. I only want half of it though, because it's just, otherwise it'll be too fat and I'll have and I'm so pleased that that we have private health cover, because I got in to see him pretty quickly, and I'm having my operation in a couple of weeks' time, so I'm pretty pleased about that. So it's just like go in the morning, go rats test. Hopefully I'm negative because I haven't had COVID, and hopefully I won't get COVID before then, and have a rats test, have the operation about mid-morning, stay the night, go home the next day. So it's just an overnight thing. So that's pretty good. Pretty pleased about that. It's just, what's going on here? Oh, that's right, down there. Sorry about that. Just wanted to stick it down when I thought about it. Otherwise, what happens is I'll just keep making it. I forgot I haven't repaired that. Oh, too much glue on that side. We've got two bags here. One for the soft plastics and one for my papers and stuff. So just put that to one side to dry for a minute, and we'll work on the signatures. Well, we'll do one. I usually do two signatures. I don't know why. I just like to do two signatures. One never seems enough somehow. It depends on the size of the journal though. Sometimes, like I did a traveller's notebook style boho one, and that just had one signature. So this paper has been dyed with chamomile tea, because what happened was this person put a box of books outside their fence, and then there was a big box of chamomile tea bags, and we walked over to the shops and walk over to our shops, which is only about 3 minutes walk away. And then on the way back, my husband said, "You're going to pick up that box, are you?" And I said, "Yep." Because books. And they were children's books, but still I can still use the text. And then there was this box of chamomile tea, so I just dyed some paper. It's come out yellow, and it actually smells quite nice. So I'm going to see how that goes in terms of whether I need to sort of change it, because the yellow doesn't really go with the colours of the collection, but I might be able to do some stamping or some inking to make it look a little bit more cohesive with the collection. So I'm just gonna, there's that. I've got, what else? I've got that one, got a piece of doily, paper doily, got this in a pack of stuff I got from someone. It's got a bit creased, and I think that's why I'm using it up, because otherwise there's no point in hoarding it. This is from the same collection as I did the inside of the cover. That's going to use that, because it's just a folder over on one side, so I'm going to use that. So there's a piece of paper from the Summer Sonatas. That's going to be the main cover of the signature. There's that one, this one, that one. Be very careful. Oh, that's more of that. We've got the other signature, which I've got behind me. There's another piece of paper from the collection, so that can go in there too. And I have got, what I do with it, I was going to show you. Sorry. I picked this up from a 50-cent bin at my second-hand shop. And I just hang on to it because I thought I'm sure I could use it. And it's like where walks and things like that in Paris, and has some maps and has some adverts, and I thought I'll just hang on to that. And I've got I scanned some of the adverts because it doesn't have a date on it. Does it have a date on it? Did I find a date in the end? I don't think it's got a date on it. Just talks about shipping from one place to another, where it's got a talk as a steamship company, so it must be pretty old. Steamship. See, print just doesn't say. Anyway, I thought that would be perfect for this journal, so I've grabbed some paper out of it, some pages. This is about the Louvre. Little page about that. Just going to turn this down a bit because it's a bit warm. I've got to trim it off. I've got some music note paper, not music note, music lined paper, so that can go in there. I've got to trim that up and stick it together. I've got some coloured pink paper there that can go in as well. So just do it that way around. So they've got to be stuck together as well, using I usually use masking tape for that kind of thing. Got a card, which I thought would go nicely. Some paper again would have to be, maybe I've got too much stuff. Let's have a look. I don't want to have too much stuff. Let's have a look. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to use the story of Cinderella, because Cinderella is a French story originally, and so it's a bit from a really old book that I've got. I don't know if and this one's going to be, I'm going to attach it there, attach it somehow so it's so it continues on. I'm not too sure how I'm going to do that. I'll have to work that out. So I'm going to put those three together. What else have I got? I have to have a music paper in there because it's called Summer Sonata. So I'll put that in there. And I've got to trim all of these up. So and maybe some of this green paper. That might be about my lot, I think. I've got all this other paper dragged out, but I might not use it unless I use it for flips. Let's have a look. How many did I have? Did you count? That's the cover of the signature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's usually about what I put in, about 12. And if I find it's still not enough, I've got some Scrabble sheets, some white notepaper with some embossing on it, some red envelopes, and some of this daily plan paper, but I might not use that. So I'm just going to have to think about how I'm going to put these Cinderella pages together. So there's 6 pages. I could have done 3 little bits of paper, but I thought, oh, that means that one signature's got two of these in, and the other one's got just the one. But I don't know how I'm going to join them together without. Could hinge it. Of course you could hinge it, Kate. Do it that way. Right. Let's have a look how big it is compared to the book, the signature. So it does need a bit of trimming, so we'll do this first, and so the people who may not know how to hinge may hopefully help them know what to do. So what did I say? What did I say? Oh, it's too fat. I did say it was too fat. It just needs a bit off the edges. So I just hope I don't cut it. That's the worst thing. Cut it. Just line it up here. I mean, rip it is the word I'm looking for. Rip. So just could use a knife. Got a better knife than this, and it's tucked away somewhere. I do know where it is, but it's in my drawer next to me. So do that. I actually cut better than I thought. Just do that trim a little bit. And so those two are going to be together like that. And that one could be hinged either on this one or this one. So we just hinge it on this page. And sometimes I find that washi tape is a really good hinge you could use, but you could use paper, thin paper. If you've got a strip of thin paper, you could just cut a strip. What was it? Let's have a look. I've got a strip here. Yes. Cut a strip off and then just fold it in the middle and then just have the hinge in the middle. But this is the card. This is a card from the collection and it's quite thick. So I'm just going to use washi tape because it's a bit more, bit thinner. You could do that, and if you filled it in half, like that, and you stick one half there down there, and you stick the other half on the other side, and it just uses it to open. I think it's a bit thick, that paper, so I'm going to use some washi tape. But I'm not going to use the same washi tapes I had before. I've got some thinner stuff here. I don't want to make you a little glare, that's what's on the cardstock here. Because I found that even though that I thought I was hiding the glare, I've not been hiding the glare, so I'm trying to be mindful of people who are watching. So, of course the blue will just disappear when it's dry. Whoops, too much glue on the side here. See, it's drying already, and the glue is just warm. It's just warm today. I should have got the end first before I glued, because it'll dry now. And I want to have the end for the washi tape. Oh dear me. That's not there. Oh, there it is. Just thought this was pretty and matches the collection quite nicely. Down to the end, and then we need one here for that page. Something a little bit different. I don't know how that's going to go in the journal though. Work that out later. I'm sure it'll be fine. I hope so anyway. Lovely. So I can take my choice of whether this goes in the journal, in the signature, like that, or like that, and it's got a sort of like a flip. But I think it needs another one of another bit of washi tape that side as well, to make sure it's sort of together. So let's do that. I think the book that I got this was called Grimm's Fairy Tale, and the cover was pretty grim, if you know what I mean. It was pretty frightening sort of cover, really. I think it was came from the 1950s, and I don't think they sort of try to make them kind in those days like they do now. Oops, that didn't enough gonna stick. Let's have a look. If you're wondering, I got this little thing from Spotlight. I just saw it on the end of one of the aisles. I thought, yes, I've been looking for one of those. I was actually looking in the kitchen section of various cheap shops and been looking for a while because I think it'd be a really useful tool for this kind of thing. I've seen other crafters use a variety of things, and I did try a credit card, but it's not quite what's the word? Firm enough is the word I'm looking for. Firm. So that should be. Use that to hopefully that it won't dry together. I have to dry it like that on the floor with everything else. So we could do that the same for all the others. Just join in with the tape. I'm going to see if we can figure out how big this need to do about this music sheet that I've got here, because it's way too big. But it's got the green in there, that's why. Put that to one side for the moment. You could have it there, and we could just fold it back. I think I do have a tendency to cut these off, but I've decided lately that I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently. Just make them into sort of tucks and things like that, and you could add an envelope to that to sort of, but the bottom bit I probably will have to cut, as I probably didn't fold that enough. I don't think so. Look, no, I didn't fold enough, so just have to fold it a bit more. And the other side. So tomorrow I'm going to have go up to a town. Well, it's not really. It's really so close to Adelaide. It's not funny. It's Gawler, and every Sunday they have a market at the train station there, run by the Lions Club. And I used to go there to sell my cards, but it was the wrong kind of market because people would go there to sell, you know, those stuff they didn't want in their house anymore, and plants and things they bought online and selling on kind of thing. And it wasn't really, and I didn't do very well. But I'm going up there because there used to be a man that used to go there who used to sell a lot of books. Anyway, so I'm going to go up there and have a look to see if he's still there and see what he's got. Right, I'm just going to fold that up there so I know where to cut. I might use it as a bit of ephemera later on. Cut it like I did with the paper. Hopefully I won't rip it. Make sure it's right the way through. Whoops. Has it gone all the way through? Probably not. It has a bit, but just cut the rest of it off with a pair of scissors. So that's what you can do with pages that are bigger than the signature. You can just cut the bits off, or you can fold them up like I did there. I could have folded the bottom up, or I could fold the top down. There's lots of things you could do to a page that's too big. So hopefully I'll just continue on working with my pages to make sure they all fit, because I'm sure you don't want to see me sticking pages together and making sure pages fit like this and all the time. So I want to say thank you very much for joining me today, and see you next video. Bye bye.